So yes, my mother pissed me off at boot camp. This is my sob story. What is up, guys? You're tuning into Nikki MGTV for another video. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below if you have questions. But as always, let's roll right into the topic, and that is why my mom pissed me off over at boot camp. And I want to talk about this because I was reflecting back at all the things that, touching base with my experience at boot camp. How can I elaborate on it? And there's a lot of things that, you want to know about the swim call, you want to know about all this other stuff, but like that stuff isn't the stuff that's hard, okay? The actual training evolutions aren't that bad. That's the exciting part of all of boot camp, but there's emotional factors and mental factors that just trump all of that make that situation harder. So looking back at my experience, I'll tell you the story about my mom pretty much and why I was disappointed. And I'll preface this whole story with, we are now on good terms. I don't hold it against her. We're on better terms now, but as far as this is something that really made me upset. So, but I wanted to discuss it because I think there's a good silver lining to the story. Anyway, so I was dating a girl before I joined the military, and so I told her, I said, I'm going to call my mom for my boot camp phone call. She deserves it. She's my mother, respect, right? And my mom was like, you better call me. And I was like, I'm going to call you. Okay. So anyway, I ended up getting over to Great Lakes where I make the phone call. And I pick up my little phone, my NV2, if you guys even remember that phone. And I remember calling. And nothing. It's freezing cold. I just remember being cold. And the phone, I was like, this is the last time I'm going to be on my phone for a minute. Nothing. Call several times. Nothing. And so I'm sitting there. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. I saved my phone call for my mom for this. I did call my girlfriend at the time on the bus on the way to boot camp. Whispered. I was like, hey, gotta go real quick. But just I'm going to say I miss you 8 weeks later. Write me. Well, anyway, I ended up not getting my phone call to my mom at all. And that frustrated me because I was like, man, come on. Like, it wasn't even the time difference between North Carolina, East Coast time, and Chicago was not that far off. I think I was doing the phone call between around like 9 to 10 o'clock at that point. So I'm just like, I was just frustrated. Okay. But I was like, maybe she just missed the phone call, wasn't expecting it, even though the time period of when you're going to call is pretty standard, and my mom was going to be up during that time. I knew she'd be up. Well, anyway, I digress. So then we move on to what really upset me, like why my mom made me upset at boot camp. And that was the letters. Okay, so I only got I got like 3 letters from her. I got a lot of letters from other people. It was amazing how many people wrote me compared to my peers. So I appreciate the people that did write me. Obviously, it takes a lot of work to write a letter, stamp it, send it, all that kind of stuff. So it's amazing. But anyway, I was looking back at this time with my mom, and we were talking. I was like, man, I'm so excited for her to come to graduation. It was just, I feel like out of my family, this was the one thing that my peers hadn't done yet. A lot of them, my siblings hadn't done. The only people that had done the military was my grandfather on my dad's side, which he was Navy, and then my mom's dad, my grandfather, never met him, so I don't really have any connection with them. But I was like, this is a big deal. Like for me, this is. I thought I was doing something way bigger, than I guess anything I'd ever done before, really big change in my life. Well, anyway, she wrote me, I remember the letter. It was like this tan envelope thing with like a weird cheetah print. Like it was writing paper, but it had a design on it. And I was like, oh, this is pretty nice paper. And I just remember reading this letter that I got from her because the previous 2 were good letters. I was happy to hear, what was going on. Again, if you're writing your people in boot camp anywhere, tell them about what's going on in your life. Like, honestly, you could write a diary and I would read that thing like 3 times just to like picture what's going on. Because our day in, day out is so monotonous and just grinding that like your life seems more entertaining than our life. So even if it seems dumb, like little Snoopy, was barking at the birds today, really yappy, I'm like, I know Snoopy. Snoopy's like that, and that's a good memory. It could be the dumbest thing ever. but do that. Well, anyway, my mom wrote me, and she was like, hey, I'm not feeling well. I forget what medically was going on. That it wasn't like something super serious. It was like she could, but it was gonna be like an inconvenience if she came. I was kind of frustrated because I was like, like this is that moment. Well, anyway, I ended up thinking about it, and I teared up a little bit because I was like, dude, like this is the moment. Like I can't relive this moment. I can't ever recreate this moment ever. This is it. And that was frustrating for me. And when I look back, I was like, maybe I'm a little oversensitive on it. Obviously, I just really wanted her to be there. And I'll say this. I don't know the exact phrase of how this is said, but they say that for every mistake that you make, you'll forget as a parent, but as a kid, you'll remember every mistake that your parents make, something to that effect. And when I've heard that, I'm like, that's so true, because I can remember like everything that my mom has ever done when I'm like, you pissed me off because of that. Like my memory is like a Rolodex of things that she pissed me off about. But this one was like one of those, just be there, and to be fair, I had my brother and my sister-in-law there, and his sister-in-law there as well. It's kind of a weird situation, but anyway, so yeah, they came. I was very lucky, very cold during that time period, but my mom did frustrate me. Obviously, like I said, we're at good terms right now, and that's kind of been how it was. If you guys haven't watched kind of why I joined the military, I'm going to link it up there, where I kind of break down everything about kind of my backstory, because I think a lot of people took away a lot more from that video than I thought. So definitely check that out if you'd like to. And so the silver lining to this story is be there, okay? A lot of service members, a lot of families of service members don't play the two-way street, okay? I'll be 100% honest with you. Do I always contact everybody? No. Do the people always contact me? No. I will say this. It was actually very scary because Justine at one point told me, she said, you have to stop calling all these people. They don't call you, and I was like, you're right. None of these people call me. I am always calling them every single time. And I don't know if it was just the space or whatnot, but there's a disconnect from the people that in my family that I guess felt like they couldn't relate to what I was going through or what I was doing, or thinking, oh, Nick, he's in the military, he's busy, and realistically, like a lot of times we're not busy to where we do get that downtime. We're like, oh man, like I'm really missing home right now. I'm really, just don't let the lifestyle change dictate that you are not going to make yourself present in your family's life, okay? If you are a friend, if you are a family member, if you're a service member, take that minute to make the phone call. Really, do it. Because I'll be honest with you, I've lost a lot of friends, and that's scary for something that I've gained so much, right? But like there are some friendships where I'm like, I really wish I still had those. And people just drift apart too, and that's fair, but it's sad because I don't want the military to be a reason why you don't talk to your kids, or why you're a son or daughter and you don't talk to your family. Don't pay attention to social media. If someone posts a cool picture of them traveling around, that's one day. We only post good things on social media. Some people post some over the top, too many things about their lives are negative, but I'll say the majority of people are posting very good things. So don't think just because you've checked on them on social media and it looks like they're doing fine, doesn't mean they're always doing fine. So I hope that drives the message home. You can definitely always write your people on Bootcamp, do it 2-3 times a week, sit down. It can actually be really cathartic for a lot of people, writing their lives down and really just taking that minute. So, but if you guys do have any questions, anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time.